Quick sound check. All right, welcome. How'd you know I was gonna start with that Hosier? How's it all going? Corey, Gold Miner, Cali Frankie, what's up? Oh, would you look at that? Just look at it. Bitcoin is just running. Sometimes you just gotta look at it, and it's beautiful. This horrible falling wedge I drew is somehow playing out beautifully. Honestly, more than that, the 4-hour triangle is actually playing out beautifully. And I had this level charted 4 nights ago on stream when I charted this triangle, and look at that. We broke out of the triangle, we went straight up to the next level. You just gotta look at it. And we're pretty much matching this high from literally the beginning of the year. If that can break, you're probably just retesting highs of the rally. And of course, if you watched last night's stream, I'm gonna do the quick egotistical recap. I did hand out 2 names that I said to keep a very close eye on today. I literally posted it on X, revealing, word for word, revealing. Let me see actually what I said word for word. All right. And one of those names was up over 20% today. What did I say? Word for word. All right. This is what I said word for word. Revealing 2 stocks that may be setting up for a big bounce. All right. And those 2 stocks were Coinbase and Riot. So, all right. Zeke, I see you in the chat. You were there on Coin as well. I talked about that. Actually might be in the clip. Let's see if, here we go. Let's do a quick look back to last night's stream. Let's head on over to this overlay. Okay. Pause the music for a second. Divergence on the 4-hour. I know Zeke was also talking about this. You got the bullish divergence on the RSI and the MACD. You also got a 4-hour bullish pin bar candle today, right? Now, if we go over to the daily, well, actually, even before we do that, you also have some support here. Let's draw out the zone. Look at that 4-hour support zone. Once you broke above this level at 115, you flipped it into a support. It was your first decent candle pullback on November 30th. You flipped that level into support, and then you trended higher. We then came back down to that level. We bounced off of this level right over here, and then today. So that's your 4-hour on Coinbase. If we look at the daily, you've got a bullish pin bar candle as well. You've got hidden bullish divergence. So 4-hour classic bullish divergence implies a reversal of the short-term downtrend to the upside, and then daily hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators implies a continuation of the long-term move to the upside. So 2 different variations of bullish divergence on 2 major time frames. Another similar name is Mara. Now I already did alert a swing on Riot, and Riot itself looks good. The swing is back in profit. It pretty much hit the pattern completion zone of a bullish bat and made a higher low. As long as it stays above $10, Riot looks great to me. Mara also is a name I did not alert a swing on, but I wanted to give it a mention. If you take a look at this 1430 level, it used to be resistance. It flipped into support, and now again you're making a higher low here. All right, if we go over to the 4-hour time frame, got a little bit of a bullish wedge, falling wedge forming here. All right, or just a downsloping channel. Again, the bullish pin bar / bullish engulfing candle, hidden bullish divergence setup. No harmonic here, but like I said, we started off the stream. Bitcoin just got a major breakout on the 4-hour chart. No wonder Coinbase and Mara and Riot are starting to look very interesting after pulling back quite a bit. They had very good rallies at the end of last. All right, we all get the point. Let's put the music back on. And here we are, Bitcoin, nice day today. Continuing higher, moving over into Ethereum. Not that much of a change. And then SOL, Solana, testing a channel breakout. I mean, we really look into this one. Let's go over to the 4-hour for a second. Take a look at SOL. All right. This song is not good. We've got this inverse head and shoulders set up, and you're currently testing your neckline. So SOL really setting up here. We are talking about crypto, so let's take a look at the charts right now. Let's start off with Mara, up 23% today. I drew this little cute curved line for the higher low last night. It gapped up about 6% and closed up 23%. Beautiful move, nice volume. This is exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. Maybe not 23%, maybe like, 7-8%. But yeah, that's exactly what you look for in trends, right? If we pull out the fibs, what did you do? You went down to your golden retrace, the 0.618. If you look at your MACD, all right, it had hidden bullish divergence. If you look at the price action, you were flipping previous resistance into a support. I am not doing this right now on the stream to flex this or to be like, oh my gosh, I was right about Mara. This is quite literally the best education you can get. You know why? Because the same exact theme showed on the other charts. That is why I alerted Riot as a swing trade, which by the way is only 40 cents away from the first target, which would be a 21% profit. Riot was alerted for free in the Discord at 11 bucks. It's now up 18% since then. It has the same exact setup, okay? Same exact setup. Previous resistance flipped into a support. You got hidden bullish divergence. If we zoom out over here, you were also bouncing off of your 618 retrace. I know I didn't draw that perfectly. If we move over until Coinbase, same exact thing, and I actually alerted us a new swing trade on Coinbase today. You've got the falling wedge, that's separate, but remember the equation, okay? Previous resistance flips into a support, you check off your first box. Hidden bullish divergence, you check off your second box. Third box, 0.618 golden retrace, all right? 3 different charts, same exact thing. Yes, they are similar assets, but you can find this on many other charts if you look around. I believe DWAC is another example. Somebody mentioned this. It didn't have the hidden bullish divergence, and you can see the 618 retrace, right? If we go back in time, why was your 618 so perfect? Because look at this 3330 level, right? Go back in time. It was a previous level, previous resistance. The only thing that this one didn't have was a hidden bullish divergence on the daily, but guess what? It had it on the 4-hour. So you can see that common theme. After you see a stock that just shoots straight up, instead of FOMOing into it, wait until it tops out, and yes, you might lose, right? Like for an example, right? You see this stock, let's exit it for a second. You see this stock starting to rip right over here, right? And you miss this day, this huge day where it was up 88%, and you're like, oh my gosh, it just doubled. What if it's gonna double again? And then usually this happens, all right? It tops out. Wait for that to happen first. Wait for it to fall aggressively, and then look for the 3-step equation I just gave to you. All right, the support resistance flip, the hidden bullish divergence, and the golden retrace. And that is a much more technical area to enter. All right, if Apple dropped new MacBooks and they priced them at $2,000, but if you just waited another 2 months, you could get a 62% sale on that same MacBook. Would you wait for 2 months, or would you just buy it on day one? Think about it, all right? Now, if it's like 2 years and I don't know, maybe it makes sense to get on the first day, but you just have to have a little bit of patience. Nobody's telling you to wait forever for the stock to fall down. Most of the time, if the stock goes up this aggressively, it comes down pretty quickly too. The big one today was ARM, right? Wait for this to make a 618 retrace. I can almost assure you in time it will, all right? If we take a look at, what was that other crazy one that everyone was talking about yesterday? I didn't even look at the chart. I can't even tell you the ticker, but it went up like 3,000%. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But just remember that theme, all right? Let's get into the normal thing, the normal schedule when it comes to the stream. We already looked at crypto. So a quick look into other markets, the 2-year breaking out of this wedge, the 10-year still flirting with the 200-day moving average, dollar currency index still back testing, really not much. Nice bullish engulfing candle today on silver, gold still at the end of that triangle, and let's end with the Hang Seng Index, which opened on a gap down -1%. This seems like a simple pullback for right now for Chinese stocks, all right? So let's move over into the stock market. Before we do that, perfect timing. 2 people, who's here in the Kick chat and then Yvonne in the YouTube chat. Thank you for helping me out there. HOLO, all right? So if we look at a name like this, right? This just went from completely worthless to like 50 bucks. All right, let's say, just for argument's sake, let's see if we can find it. And this is not the type of chart you want to use technical analysis on in the first place. But isn't this very interesting? You all saw me. I didn't even remember the name of this ticker. I did not pre-plan this, okay? I did not even look at this chart. I just saw it all over social media, right? And remember the theme I just gave you, right? About how your historical levels, and I'm not making up these levels, right? You have two lows at that same exact level right there. You have another major low right there. You almost have a high right here. I'm not making up this level. But look at how that lines up with the 618, all right? I just anchored from the all-time low to the high today, and your 618. I'm not saying for sure it's going to go down to 16, but if it were to fall down to 16, you know that's a price where there at least is some price action to base it off of. If you're going long here, sure. If you like gambling, there's a chance it goes from 29 to 50 bucks, all right? You want to put it on red or black, you might be right. But if you want to be the house, you wait until the probability is really in your favor, okay? So that's a quick educational theme I want to give out this stream. Let's talk about the market now. It was a pretty flat day for the SPY and the Qs. The Russell had a pretty good day, up 1.5%, so small caps definitely led today. Even the Qs really did a lot better in terms of intraday price action compared to the SPY. I think I alerted QQQ options twice in premium today. One of them was a loser, one of them was a winner. Last 10 trades, by the way, 8 winners and 2 losers. I did share this let's see if we can find it, a couple days ago. Where is it? How did that scroll up so much? I actually looked at the past. So basically this channel right here, the Options Ideas channel, I compiled literally almost 500 trades. And this doesn't include the last 2 months, even though the last 2 months have been really good. I just kind of stopped tracking the last 2 months. I've just been really busy with a lot of college and stuff. Like sometimes I'm like in class, I'm alerting options. I don't really have time to journal everything. But prior to the last 2 months, 500 trades, about 70% of them, I'm not going to say the number, about 70% of them pretty much were winners. And the last 10 of them, 80% of were winners. So I did alert some QQQ puts, you know, like the price action still wasn't great, but it was movable, right? If we look at like lower time frames. The SPY today, however, it wasn't even movable. I congratulate anybody who made profit trading SPY options, especially 0DTEs today, but I am sure a lot more people got burned than made profit trading SPY in either direction today. Yeah, I just stayed away from it. I did not touch SPY today. So yeah. Dave, I'm glad you enjoyed the education. Gold Miner says, Champ, what do you think of the SPY chart I posted in Discord? I did see that. I think it was like 504-ish or something you said, and then pull back. What'd you say? Yeah, around, oh, look at that, 503 to 505. I'm right in the middle. I do read up. And yeah, I mean, this is a valid trend line. You have pretty much 3 touches now, valid demand line. That's your 5-touch pattern. If we're going by Bulkowski's rules, I do believe that this could be a very, very easy area for reversal. And then if we throw some psychology into there, I didn't even mention this, but the S&P 500, I was about to say 5,000, the S&P 500 hit 5,000 today for the first time in history. So I feel like this is not being talked about enough. I mean, I didn't even mention it until what, like 20 minutes into the stream, which is kind of crazy because, you know, some of you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. And I'm sure you've waited your whole life and even at points in your life never even thought that that was possible in your lifetime, right? If we go back, and I'm going to get back to this gold miner in 1 second. If we go back in time, let's go to like a 6-month chart, okay? Each one of these candles is 6 months of data, okay? And we just go back to 83, all right? 1983. A lot of you were around then. I wasn't. But the S&P 500 was about $100, all right? And this was the index of the US stock market. To think, because if we really just look at how it moved, right? Yes, it was going up over time, but just steadily. To think that we would go from just, you know, this steady curve, nothing too crazy. It's even hard to draw how steady it was, to this steady curve. To go from that to quite literally this, like a parabola. I failed geometry in high school. It might not be a parabola, but And it's very, I know some of you might be hearing that for the first time. It's the most ironic thing ever. I literally do charting for a living now, and I failed geometry in 10th grade. But besides the point, it just went straight up. So 5,000 on the S&P 500, absolutely insane. $5,040, $40 was the high today. That TradingView is saying. So absolutely insane. Going back to your chart though, I actually used to use these automated support resistance levels. I don't use it anymore. But yeah, I would probably do the same thing I said earlier with all the other charts. Look for the 618 retrace if this were to play out, and look for the support resistance flip. So, I mean, looking at it itself right now, 5,000 is also just a psychological level. Our Fibonacci 1272 is going to be up at around almost 5,200 in terms of like the long term. If we're going to do a little bit more of a short term fib, we just exceeded the 1618. And you actually did react to it a little bit. We got this 2% pullback off the 1618 golden ratio. So looking at the SPY on lower time frames, it's crazy. You're just about overbought now. And all-time high close, just slightly higher than yesterday's close. Lower time frames, you got a 4-hour bullish engulfing. I mean, this setup doesn't look too different than this one, which is basically large green candle to start the day, and then just follow through kind of, you know, going sideways candles. But then your last 4-hour candle, you get a bullish engulfing. Pretty much the same thing happened. I know this was 2 days of price action, not one, but between Monday and Tuesday, and then into Wednesday and Thursday, pretty much the same theme happened. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's really tough to chart these things when they go straight up or straight down. The Qs don't look that different either. I did take a loss on those QQQ puts yesterday. I got out of all of them. I didn't hold them for today, and it just kind of trended a little bit higher on the lower time frames. Probably just look at it like this on the 15-minute chart. It's pretty much what I would keep an eye on. And then the leader today, believe it or not, the 1-hour falling wedge we've been talking about has played out. And the 1-hour falling wedge did play out. We went up to, I assume, about a 618 retrace. See what happens here, but not bad. I have been bearish on the Russell for the past month or so since we started rejecting this sell-in, but I will say that today looked a little bit like a decent turnaround. So that's a good start. I want to see more than just a start, but I mean, look, if we really want to turn this into a pattern, this demand line, it works. You can see it from these lows to these last 2 lows. And then if we want to have a supply line, I'd say that this is your pattern for small caps. All right. So keep that in mind. I know Zeke was in the chat. Great job calling out the ARK ETF. You didn't get a 618 retrace. You got about a 50% retrace, but this is another key example of previous resistance. You can see it over here multiple times, flipping into a support twice actually, with hidden bullish divergence playing out. So pretty much $50 is your next resistance here. And that's great timing because I'm literally looking at ARK as you say that. So yeah, I mean, honestly, there was a little bit of a wedge here too. There you go. So a lot of different things playing out here. Nice move. I guess there's the argument for a cup and handle. All right, I'm not going to fully draw it out, but I guess I will. I've spent too much time. So there you go. Maxes are going to be 100 again someday in the future. I think so. Someday. I definitely think a lot of these stocks in this basket can double in time. And that's pretty much the overall market. Fisker had a good day today, up 5%. I am rebalancing some of my accounts. Like I'm even moving some Fisker over from one account to the other. So just to be straightforward, if this is my 1-hour chart. If it were to gap up, I don't know, just in some universe, 25-30% tomorrow, it would not be enough time for my funds to transfer, and I wouldn't be able to buy it. So I'm hoping it relaxes. Like, I've been waiting for Fisker to go up for like the last month of being in it, and I'm moving because I have Fisker in I think 4 different accounts right now, just equity. So I kind of spread it out, and I just want to put it in one account so I can just leave it and forget about it. So I'm moving the money over, and I'm just like, this is like after a month of like, oh, I wish Fisker would I could just wake up with Fisker up 30%, even though it did actually happen one day. The night I'm like, oh, just stay flat, and tomorrow when the money transfers, we can go up. But we will see what happens. I still have a decent amount of Fisker in one of my accounts that I haven't touched. The account I'm moving everything else to. But yeah, this is my 1 hour pattern, a little bit of a breakout test here. It's technically a descending triangle, but they can break up, you never know. And I did alert some new swings today. I alerted 2 new swings in premium. If you're in premium and you see the swings I alerted, I didn't even realize this, but one of the members actually mentioned it. It is very ironic, the 2 swings that I alerted, because of how the stocks are in a way enemies. That's the only hint I'm gonna give. But I also alerted Coinbase as a swing. We talked about it last night. It's actually already in profit a little bit, and you did get the wedge breakout today. So that is nice. I also alerted Beyond as a swing, which also had it. I think it was only up like 1 or 2% when I alerted it as a swing, and now it closed up 6%. And it's literally as we speak testing a breakout. What I'm seeing here, and we did look at this last night on stream, is hidden bullish divergence, a double bottom, and a downsloping channel breakout test. So we will see what happens there. Bob unfortunately did not do a great job of recovering today, but now it's back to retesting its previous supply line as a demand line, hopefully. Getting a little supply demand flip. What other swings? Tesla was up 1% today. I did take profit on Tesla calls. I alerted to premium members yesterday that I was entering weekly Tesla calls and overnighting them into today. And I did take profit on those. It was a nice trade. So good move there. I did exit it though. But yeah, there's also a swing on Tesla, and it's up. It's off to a nice start. And then of course Riot, I already mentioned it. Huge day today. It closed above the 200 moving average for the first time since January 11th, and this is only 40 cents away from the first target. So the swing's already up 18%. This was alerted very recently. Great stuff there for Riot. Let's see if there was any big movers. I don't really want to look through all the large caps tonight. It's all going to be the same thing as what I said last night. It was a very flat day for the Qs. Nothing really there changed. So yeah, it's pretty much it. Let's see. Make sure to hit the like button if you didn't already. Hit the subscribe button. Yvonne says, seen another Fisker Ocean 2 in about 2 weeks from never seen one. That is amazing. I've never seen I've seen Fisker Oceans. I went to their I actually, believe it or not, so in New York City they opened like their flagship, I forget what they call them, like Experience Lounge or whatever. There's like store, I guess, here in New York City. It's in the Meatpacking District, and I've actually never been there. I definitely need to go very soon. But I did go to the same exact weekend that they opened their flagship location here. They also did a private event. There's some like car club here in New York City. It's on the West Side Highway. I keep forgetting the name, but it was like a private, exclusive, invite only thing. And I was running, like, just like a quick story. I had to go to a party that night, but I knew Henrik Fisker was in New York City, and I'm like, all right, if he has the option of going to their flagship location, which is always going to be there, and he was already there in the afternoon, and this private event that's exclusive to like Fisker employees and like some other people that are in the club, I think there's a much better chance he goes to this private event. And I dragged my friend along with me, and we didn't even have memberships to go in this club. And we just show up. I forgot how we got in, but we said something about like, oh, like we're here for Fisker, and I don't exactly remember what we said, but they ended up just letting us in. We didn't have to pay or anything. And we wait there, I think, for like 2 hours. And this is the 2 hours that the reason I'm saying this story is I was actually able to look at a bunch of different versions of the Fisker Ocean. I think they had like 6 cars in there. So that was the one and only time I have seen Fisker Oceans. And Henrik did show up. He was very busy. I only got to talk with him briefly, but that was the second time I met him. The first time I definitely had a much longer and better conversation with him. The other part to that was I actually became friends, and I actually have his number. I should text him. I became friends with one of the Fisker employees at that event. He just became an employee for Fisker, whatever. And I was like, I want to test drive the Fisker Ocean. Can you make that happen? And this is kind of the disappointing part. But Okay. So yeah, I basically said if you come back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., you can test drive the Fisker Ocean. I'm like, all right. And if you remember earlier in the story, I said I had a party to go to. I went out that night, indulged a little bit, was very hungover the next morning, and missed the appointment. So if that Fisker employee is watching, I am very sorry. I stood you up on a dream offer, but I'm sure soon I will test drive a Fisker Ocean. And hey, instead of doing that, I actually met Logan Paul that morning, which was kind of crazy. So I guess everything happens for a reason, but it's a fun little story time. It was a very interesting 12 hours. And that's my latest Fisker story. So yeah, we're going to end the stream on that note. Hopefully it was a little bit entertaining. Moral of the story is don't get hungover because you missed test drives, and look for 0.618 support resistance flip with hidden bullish divergence retraces. Have a great night. Final stream of the week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Let's do a quick poll before I head out of here. Let me know who you guys think are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think it's just, I don't actually think that the NFL is scripted, but just to have some fun, it would be a little bit scripted with the whole Taylor Swift thing. So just put a poll in the chat. For those of you in the chat, vote on who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. Who's here? You're welcome to just say it in the Kick chat. And we got 2 viewers in Kick. Let me see who the other one is. You can drop something in the chat. All right, have a great night. Thank you for watching the stream. Currently it's looking like the Niners are in the lead. Now it's 75-25, now it's 60-40. Okay. All right, have a great night.